When you're just starting out in photography, there's one piece of advice you're gonna hear over and over again. Start with friends and family. They already know you, they already trust you, and they actually want to see you succeed. It sounds like the perfect place to begin, but nobody talks about what happens when things go wrong and what you should actually be doing instead. For some of you watching, you might think it's a great idea, and listen, I totally get it. When you're new, the hardest part isn't taking photos, it's finding people who will pay you to take photos. And according to a 2024 Zenfolio survey, 46% of photographers say that finding new clients is their single biggest challenge. So when your friends and family are right there, already cheering you on, already sharing your posts, of course they feel like the obvious place to start. Low pressure, familiar faces, and what feels like guaranteed business. What could go wrong? Well, for me, everything. And I hope this story serves as a warning for everyone watching this video. Before we get started, I need your help. Nearly 70% of viewers on these sales-related videos aren't currently subscribed to my channel. If you find this video helpful in reframing how you sell your work, consider subscribing, and I promise to keep bringing you the best content that I can make. Okay, let's get back to it. Let me tell you about an experience that I had early on in my career. Someone I was close to reached out and asked me to photograph their wedding. I was still building my portfolio, so I offered a deeply discounted rate. We're talking, a tiny fraction of what the work was actually worth. Before we even got started, they came back and asked if I could cut the rate in half and shorten the coverage time to match. I knew it was already an incredibly low rate to begin with, but this was someone that I cared about, so of course I said yes. I showed up early, ready to work, and brought an assistant who had agreed to help me for what we both understood would be a short window of time. The shoot itself went great, but afterwards, things started to unravel in ways that I could never have predicted. Some guests left before I could photograph them. The timeline stretched well beyond what we'd agreed to. And by the time we reached the second location, my assistant needed to leave. I'd promised him it would only be a couple of hours, and we were already well past that. So I let the couple know that our time was up and I had to go. When I got home, I went straight to work editing. I delivered a full set of high-resolution images within 3 days, which, if you know anything about the wedding industry, it's almost unheard of. But instead of hearing excitement about the photos, the first thing that I heard was disappointment. Disappointment that I left when I did. Disappointment that certain guests hadn't been photographed. And the part that stung the most, a tip that had been given to me at the start of the day by a family member was now being used as a reason why I should have stayed longer, as if gratuity somehow entitled them to additional services. When I asked whether they had looked into other photographers before reaching out to me, the answer was no. They had no context for how low the rate was, how fast the turnaround was, or how much of myself I had put into that day. And without that context, all they could see was what they felt they didn't get. In the end, I refunded everything, the payment, the tip, just to avoid any further tension. They accepted it, and we haven't spoken since. So I lost the money, I lost the time, and I lost a close friendship that to this day has never come back. And the hardest part, I thought I did everything right and beyond. The problem was never the photography. Here's the thing that nobody tells you about all of this. When you work for a stranger, a bad experience is just a bad review. When you work for someone that you love or that you care about, a bad experience is a rift. And the data backs this up in a way that might surprise you. A 2025 Lending Tree survey of 2,000 Americans found that more than 1 in 3 people have had a friendship end over money. 1 in 3. And a separate Bank of America survey found that nearly 3 in 4 people believe that money transactions are harmful to a friendship, and that almost 40% would end a friendship over a dispute of just $100. And we're not even talking about creative service transactions here, just borrowing and lending. Now imagine adding unclear expectations and subjective creative work on top of all of that. Research published in the journal Family Relations found that financial disagreements are actually the strongest predictor of relationship breakdown, stronger than disagreements about children, in-laws, or household responsibilities. Money has a unique way of cutting through even the closest relationships, and photography, because it's personal, subjective, emotional, it makes that even more complicated. There are a few specific reasons this dynamic is so tricky for photographers. First, photography is subjective. Your friend might love you, but feel underwhelmed by your work, and they won't know how to tell you that without hurting your feelings. It's hard to separate the two things. Second, people who know you often don't take your pricing seriously. They might expect a discount or feel awkward about the price at all, and you might feel guilty charging them your full rate. So you undercharge, you over-deliver, and you still end up feeling resentful. And according to industry researchers, this is one of the most common reasons new photography businesses fail. Not a lack of talent, but a habit of underpricing that starts with friends and family and becomes impossible to reverse when you start selling to the broader public. Third thing, and this is the big one, when something goes wrong with a paying client who is also your friend, you don't just lose a client, you lose a friendship, or at least you damage it, and no amount of money is worth that damage. I'm telling you that from personal experience. So what's my personal advice? When you're starting out, fight back against the urge to lean on your personal relationships as your primary source of business. I know it feels safe, but it actually is one of the riskier moves that you can make, not for your business, but for the relationships that matter the most to you. Consider this, the US Small Business Administration reports that around 50% of new businesses fail within the first 5 years. A lot of those failures come down to early mistakes that seem harmless at the time. Underpricing, skipping contracts, letting personal relationships blur professional boundaries. Every time you offer a friends and family discount or you skip the paperwork because it feels awkward, you're chipping away at the foundation of your business before it even has a chance to stand. If you decide to work with someone close to you, go in with a real conversation up front. Talk about expectations, talk about what happens if they're not happy with the results, and most importantly, put it all in clear writing that they sign off on. Treat it like a professional engagement, because the moment that money is involved, it is one, whether it feels that way or not. Make sure you show what your actual pricing would have been when you give them a quote, and then list the discount at the bottom. That way they know what the services would have cost them. And honestly, the best thing you could do for your business and your relationships is to find your footing with strangers first. Build your skills, build your confidence, and build your portfolio with people who have no expectation of you beyond the work. Then when a friend or family member asks, you'll be in a much stronger position to say yes or to say no without feeling like you're letting them down. These days, I simply refer friends and family to someone else in my network to take care of them so that I don't have to risk it. Speaking of risk, starting out, you're going to hear a lot of photographers talk about mini sessions and how they're a gold mine when you're starting out. But is this actually true? Check out the video that you see here on the screen to learn the truth.